Hey guys, this is the Anime Fiend bringing to you today One Piece chapter number 1044. And whoa, how long? How long have we been waiting? For 20 plus years. I mean, damn. And let's get right into that, right? Of course, the Gomu Gomu no Mi, of course, rip F everything because it's not Gomu Gomu no Mi anymore. But of course, I mean, almost everyone knew this, and everybody were predicting there's gonna be some new power. And to be honest, like, out of all the ridiculous, like, from being it like a sap fruit or oil fruit or some shit like that, to completely crazy shit like some possession. Luffy apparently was possessed by Joy Boy or Nika, or the Straw Hat was, possessed by it, or the Straw Hat had some weird oil fruit or some crazy shit. Or out of all these crazy, some dumb, some like outlandish, out of all these theories, I would say, like, the least pretentious or the least ridiculous power would be the one that's revealed, right? I mean, of course, I mean, mythical zone. So, talking about mythical zones, of course, we know that we have multiple mythical zones like Phoenix, some, Yamato has some guardian wolf or something like that, dragon, and of course, pretty similar to Luffy's fruit is, of course, Sengoku, who also has a mythical zone model human fruit. Now, of course, mythical zone model some animal is like a mythical creature from, fantasy or mythology of our world, right? And of course, human variation of that would be, of course, what are mythical human beings, of course, like legends, some crazy warriors, or of course even gods. So of course we got Buddha as Sengoku, who's you could say, god, or like enlightened being or something like that, right? And of course, this one is Nika, and Nika apparently, it's kind of a stretch, but I think there's some symbol like ICXC and Nika or something like that in like Christianity, where it says Jesus Christ conquers. So Nika basically was the word for like conquers, victor, or something like that. So in a way, of course, conquerors, of course, we all know that, right? And I mean, if that's the actual case, then you could kind of say that, of course, we don't have a Nika. I'm pretty sure we don't have a Nika, or who knows, maybe there's some mythical being in some part of our world called Nika, right? But if there's no Nika, then I mean, see, looking at the powers, the conqueror thing, the freedom thing, the warrior of liberation thing, it basically sounds like it's, the Jesus fruit. Yeah, Luffy has Jesus fruit. That's basically what I came to, what I concluded. Like, come on, basically it is that, right? I mean, so yeah, I mean, maybe Oda didn't want it to be like Jesus fruit or Christ fruit. That would be ridiculous. So, he made it Nika, whatever, sure, cool. But of course, I understand now. A lot of people are like, oh, this is just ridiculous, we can't, I mean, it was Gomu Gomu no Mi. But I mean, out of all the things, like, instead it being like a special paramecia where it's like oil or sap or some crazy freaking shit, I would say, like, mythical zone. Of course, you could have one excuse, of course, that, you know mythical zones always have a separate power. Now, I understand Jesus didn't have rubber powers, right? I mean, if it's Jesus, of course, I'm just assuming, but you know, basically what Oda wanted to do was, freedom. So, he decided what would be the freest thing. I don't know, rubber, gum, like goo, something, right? So, I guess rubber made more sense to Oda, and he just slapped that power to that, right? Now, I understand it's a made up power, but I mean, talking about made up in a made up story is already crazy enough. So I mean, again, I understand. Oh, we thought he was just rubber boy, doing the best, Luffy's ingenuity and all this shit, of course, using the rubber fruit. It was pretty awesome. I mean, having a shitty fruit, being dealt a shitty hand, Luffy still is freaking phenomenal, right? I mean, until he awakened, of course, he was just using the rubber abilities, right? So, yeah, I mean, Luffy did a lot good than, anybody else would have done with a rubber fruit. So, that's of course impressive, but of course, it being a mythical zone model Nika, and basically its extra power is having rubber, and awakening it would, I don't know, make it stronger, more flexible, it has more freedom, of course. Oda had to include the word freedom. I mean, that's the whole theme. So it is what it is. I mean, mythical zone model Nika, who could be Jesus reference, who knows, which has a rubber power. I mean, Buddha is a mythical character who didn't have shockwave powers, so whatever, sure. But again, we get to know that this devil fruit, in 800 years the government have been trying to capture, but they never caught this fruit because it felt like it kind of tried to escape, and they said like that's because every zone has a will of its own, right? So I mean, you could understand that, like, yeah, zone devil fruits, they have animal spirits or whatever in them, so animal wills, I guess. So you could say, yeah, sure, they have a kind of a consciousness or will of their own, sure. That's not the most ridiculous thing, sure. And I mean, yeah, I mean, a lot of people, of course, everybody is talking about Luffy, Nika, Joy Boy, the Gomu Gomu no Mi, or Nika fruit, right? Whatever. Hito Hito no Mi, Nika, I guess, whatever. But I mean, I want to talk about something else as well, which a lot of people are just ignoring. That is, of course, Orochi. No. Of course, I'm talking about Kaido. I mean, dude, Kaido, we can see in his face he's like actually genuinely happy, and he's like, oh my god, thank god that Luffy isn't defeated. He's like thanking him. He's happy even when Luffy is beating on him, giving him a beat down. He's like, attacking him and shit. Even then, Kaido is like happy. Kaido is genuinely, just for a second when Luffy kinda died, Kaido went down and he was like angry. I'm gonna kill everybody, I'll make everybody slaves, no matter women, children, whatever, right? He was angry, but now he feels like holy shit. He, in a way, not to be cliche, but in a way, he is liberated. So, I mean, it is what it is, right? I mean, come on. But I mean, on the other hand, Kaido, really, man. I mean, I know we've been just getting like these small things, which especially I have been like stretching a lot, because I mean, I love villains, man, and Kaido is just becoming so good. I mean, villains, first of all, my ideology is like, no matter how good your story is, no matter how good your main characters are, no matter how good your plot, world building, everything, right? No matter what, villains make the story. If the villains are lame and bad, it's just sad, man. It's never gonna be as good, right? So villains make the story. And talking about villains, I wanna quote the great legendary Scott Hall, or Razor Ramon, however you know him, right? The NWO guy. And I mean, his quote is just awesome and signifies so much about how good an awesome villain could be, right? And of course, the quote is, hard work pays off, dreams come true, bad days don't last, but bad guys do. And dude, it is what it is, man. Villains make a story. Villains build a story. They will always live in our hearts as like these legendary, people like Doflamingo, Crocodile, and all these people, right? So, yeah, Kaido is right there with them, and it's just phenomenal. So, I'm just thankful. And of course, on the other hand, of course, Orochi, Hiyori, sure, Orochi is sad. Kanjuro came and burned him to whatever, probably not dead. He'll probably do something, the story will probably continue, whatever, sure. They can have their time, they can have their spot, whatever. But one small thing before cutting off the video is that previously, of course, when Momo and Just Law noticed that Luffy's, notice, you could say, just those two mentioned that Luffy's voice is gone, he's dead, and all that shit. Everybody was like, oh, Law has he has the voice of all, voice of everything, and all this shit. Like, I was like, calm down, people, like, calm down. Now, of course, apparently, if that's true, then Sanji, Kid, even Hyogoro of the Flower would have had voice of all things. So, yeah, no, that was observation haki. Momo was just using, only Momo and Zoe were using, voice of all things. Everybody else, at least as far as we know, are just using observation haki. So, whatever, sure. But anyways, you guys comment down, what do you guys think about the chapter? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you like the revelation of the fruit? Would you have liked if it was something else, if there was no power up at all? But whatever, comment down. But I would say, like, Luffy getting 1,000,000 power-ups against Kaido is awesome, because it just shows what Kaido is, how strong, how dangerous, how powerful, how crazy Kaido is. So whatever, just so if you think the video is good, like, share, subscribe, check out my new manga recommendation series. There'll be more recommendation videos to come on other series as well, so whatever, check that out. Check out my Discord, we could have fun discussions. But anyways, man, as always, until next time, peace.